Welcome to another episode of Salvage 1 Bus Life Adventures. Hey everyone, thanks for coming back. On the previous episode, we talked about finding the bus, checking it out, making sure everything looked good, it was all on the up and up, and plopping down the cash for it. On this episode, we cover how we got it home in the middle of the night under cover of darkness, then the initial inspection, taking stock of what we're going to have to do, and then we tackle those dreaded seats. So everybody knows that if you have a bus, you got to take out those seats. And this is our story on that. And it ain't pretty. Well, we're here right now trying to pick up the bus. The batteries are dead. But it did go through an inspection and had oil changes and stuff like that done. But apparently the batteries were not upgraded or taken care of in any way. So I'll have to get 2 new batteries. Just put the temporary plate in the back and went around and tried buttoning up the windows. And that's kind of where we're at right now. Dark. I got about a 70-mile drive between here and where the bus has got to go to sleep. And that's kind of where we're at right now. I'll update you as soon as I can. Alright, so we are driving I-10, heading to Casa Grande. The bus is in front of me, and I'm pretty sure his batteries are probably dying and not charging off alternator, but we'll see what happens. We do know that his speedometer is 5 miles off, because he says he's doing 55, and I have us only doing 50. So, we do know that the speedometer is off by 5 miles an hour. Alright. Let's keep going. All right, we're about 6 miles away from pulling the bus in for the night, and let me tell you, I hope that thing has a cruise control, and if it does, that he finds it, or if it doesn't, that he invests in one, because he is all over the place with that speed. Like the entire ride down here following him, we've been going 55, 60, 65, back down to 55, 60, up to 65. Back down to 55. I mean, my foot is sore as hell. I hope he invests in a cruise control. We're at my friend's property. The bus is now here. It was fun driving it here, let me tell you. I'm used to driving, stuff of this length, but articulated in the middle. A truck towing a trailer. I've never driven a bus with over a 10-foot overhang in the back, which is crazy. But we made it here. Oil pressure was not great, so I can't tell if the gauge is not working right or if it really does have low oil pressure, so I'm gonna have to get that checked out. It was supposed to be inspected. That's why it took so long to get videos here, because the thing was at a garage being inspected. And if it had this low oil pressure problem, they should have said something, but they didn't. And
like one of those drone subs just finding the Titanic.
Yeah, exactly. What did you want to call it? You wanted to call it Moby Dick?
Yes.
The White Whale! Well, we're still thinking of a name for it. We don't know yet, but it's here now. And, hopefully we can make lemonade out of lemons. Ciao. All right, so here we are. Now daylight. The last time you saw this, you may or may not see that footage because it was so dark, and I held the camera so crappy I couldn't even make out what I was looking at. So you may just miss that footage altogether. But now the bus is from Phoenix in the yard where we got it, and it is now down in Casa Grande, roughly 70 miles away. It was an okay drive down there. We took the highways. It was, again, nighttime out, so it wasn't bad. It handled pretty good. Let's see if this thing will start up. And it was having an issue with the batteries, and one of the cables had broke. The connection cables to the battery terminal broke. One of these windows fell down during the travel. I guess I didn't notice that. So yeah, I have to work on all of that. So let's see if this guy will open. Okay, turn the valve off, so that was the correct way. And now we're going to see if it starts. See if the battery's held a charge all the way down here. So let's do that right now. And here we are on the inside. Oh, a bunch of the windows fell down during the trip. So I'll have to lock those all up again. Make sure I do it a little bit better. Alrighty. Oh, alrighty. I'm going to pause this, and when I get back in, hopefully we're starting, or I'll get to the starting process. Alrighty. So what we're going to try here is use, I know this is a little bit overkill for what we're doing, but it's the only thing they had available at the store. But we are going to use a impact wrench, use a high torque impact wrench, and we're going to, you want to come over here and show these guys? So we're going to hit these bolts, try and loosen them up enough to get this bracket up. Then we'll get this crowbar under it and use it to apply pressure, because there's nuts underneath on the other end of these things, and if we apply pressure up here, then we don't have to crawl underneath and hold the nuts to get them out. In theory, it should be enough for us to screw everything out right here. And again, so we're using Chicago Electric's power tool, 1/2-inch drive impact wrench. A 3/8 drive could have worked, but they didn't have any available, so we had to get this instead. Harbor Freight tools. It was what, $50, $49, $50 for this thing?
Yeah, for $49 plus the warranty and all that. So yeah, like $60 total.
So it wasn't too bad a price. So all the stuff we got at Harbor Freight. So we got an extension. Hopefully we won't need it for the first few seats. We got the, what do you call them? The socket set. All came from Harbor Freight. Everything there. If we end up having to fight too much to get the bolts out, we're going to go to the cutoff wheel, the angle grinder, and we got that also from Harbor Freight. That was only $15.
Right.
So that was a pretty good deal. And the little cutting wheels, 4.5-inch cutting wheels.
Show them the cutting wheels.
All right, so let's do that real quick. There's a pack of cutting wheels. It's a 10-pack, and that was only like $9 or $10.
Hopefully we'll only need one of them.
Yeah, hopefully we won't need any of them. Hopefully this will just come out the way it's supposed to, the way we're planning on it. So let's move all this stuff out of the way.
Here's our Jiffy crowbar. Yep. With a hook on the end of it. That's important for leverage.
So let's see what size these are. Ah, crap. 1/2-inch point. Ah, it's a metric. We screwed the pooch.
All right.
Hold on. Let's see if we can get one to work here. If not, I should have a socket in my toolbox that can work. Hopefully it's a 1/2-inch drive. Let's see if this will work. A little too small. Save the receipts for everything, folks, because you never know if you got to return stuff. And they put it on these type of things so you can't steal them off the shelf at the store. There we go. Still a hair too small. So I'm guessing those things look like they're 1/2-inch. And let's see what that equates to in metrics. There we go. That is a 13 millimeter.
So if you were doing this the right way, you would have standards.
Right, exactly.
So.
But since we are far from right on anything, So we're going to try it first without the extension bar and see if we can get it. We can get this big mammer jammer in here. Now this guy works is this bottom trigger. It's a rocker switch. So when you press the bottom one, it rotates this way, tightening. You press the top one, it goes counterclockwise, which is loosen. We want to go loosen. Let's see what we got here.
So technically we should be taking this apart from the bench, the wall side first, so that we can use the actual bench itself as leverage against these, but let's just see if we can even make it work.
All right, go run over there and grab that.
Run over there and grab that.
Well, actually, let me reach in there and get it. Alrighty. That was a bad angle, so don't do that. Unfortunately, I think that's the only angle we got to work with. Alrighty, so these are loosened, so let's see if we can get the crowbar under there.
I think we need to do it the other way. I think we need to get it off the wall first and then use the bench as leverage to help with these. And then the crowbar as a last resort. So I think we need to take the bottom of the seat off first, or at least flip it up, and then take those bolts off over there, and then one of us picks up the seat while the other guy unfastens.
Okay, let's try that.
All right. I don't know if we're going to be able to get this on camera, since both of us have to work at this, so we'll be back. Okay, just to show you really quick, that bolt is underneath there, and just with a ratchet, because we don't have a drill that can get in there, because we don't believe in battery-powered operated stuff. We believe in big, bulky electrical corded stuff. So there's another bolt similar to it and up front right there, and that's going to need to come off. And then once this is off the rail and bolted from the rail, we can then use the seat as leverage to get these bolts out. So we'll be back. I'm here for half an hour, and this is why I don't do projects like this at all, because literally I've watched 2 people in 5 minutes remove a seat, and I'm here for half an hour and I can't even take these 2 bolts out because the crowbar doesn't work and the drills doesn't work, and this is why I don't touch these kind of projects.
Alrighty, impact wrench failed. We couldn't get enough leverage with the crowbar. Everything just keeps spinning under there, so we are now on to plan B.
I mean, we tried tilting the seat to add leverage. We used the crowbar and tilting the seat, and we cannot get...
They just spin underneath. You can't get enough leverage or force. So Tony and all you guys who are doing it with the crowbar way, more power to you. Apparently you were better people than we are, but I could not get it to do that way. So we are going to grinding.
Cutting.
I have my cutoff wheels, 4.5 inch cutoff wheels. I have my Warrior angle grinder, and we are now moving on to plan B. So I got to clean all this stuff out so I don't set anything on fire with all the sparks, and we're going to plan B.
Get our eyes and ears on, and
get our gloves, and yep. Okay,
safety first. All right, so these are pretty cool safety glasses. They have adjustable earpieces for fatter heads, and the only problem is I hope I do not end up looking like this child molester on here wearing these things, because that's some crazy looking dude right there.
Alrighty. We have successfully removed 2 seats so far, and I'm going along the walls removing the bolts that hold them to the rails. And my companion here has been dutifully hacking away at the floor bolts. And right now I think he's trying to break a head off so that he can get to the under.
I'm just trying to move it.
He's trying to move it a little. So let's go ahead and hit some, let's get some sparks flying. As it is. Yeah, move this way. Sustained my first injury. You know, you don't have a bus project until you bleed for your bus. Until you bleed for anything. Cars demand blood. If you watch Pristine, you'd know this. And buses are the same. You don't bleed for your vehicles, then you're not, the vehicles do not respect you. They do not take you seriously. You gotta bleed. Alrighty, with that, we're gonna let you go. Alrighty, after getting our asses handed to us here, we got 4 seats out and 4 more partially disconnected. We're gonna come back again. Again, I think I'm gonna bring my little henchman with me to get underneath. That may be faster because as we were grinding these bolts off, they were spinning. So they're kind of loose, and it may be faster just to have somebody go underneath there and hold it while we ratchet them off with like an air ratchet or something. But that grinding, man, whew. Sometimes they went fast, sometimes they fought you. And we were at this for 5 hours.
4 hours.
4 hours and
4 seats.
the struggle's real.